Hi guys, I'm Lynn and this is On The Reel, and today in studio we have director of No Limbs, No Limits, Stephen Riordan. So tell us a little bit about the documentary, just in case anybody hasn't heard of it just yet.
Well, essentially I've made a documentary about my sister. She's one of 7 people in the world living with a condition known as total amelia, which means she was born without limbs. So essentially I think what I wanted to do was to look at her life and to try and show other people, I suppose, who I've grown up with and kind of the experiences I've had with Joanne. And I suppose it goes from the good experiences to the negative experiences, and there's a nice balance there between Joanne and my parents in terms of the backstory. From my perspective, I think I just wanted to show people what it was like to live with a disability and what it was like to live with someone with a disability. And I think as well, to try and make it more intimate, in my own mind it made sense that I was telling her story from my point of view as a brother growing up with her. But of course, inevitably, it is Joanne's story and she is at the forefront of it, you know. Yeah. So
I'm sure she'd probably say something about that.
Absolutely, and I know that she was saying that if it's successful, she'll take all the credit, so there you go. Yeah.
I want to live an independent life just like you. I don't want to live in the shadow of others because I want to make my own journey in life. And I know if I'm given the chance, I can and will succeed.
So how did you approach Joanne then and your family beforehand? Because were you thinking about this for a while?
Yeah, well, I would have filmed Joanne when I was younger, so my parents would have bought like a really old camera and I used to film her as she was growing up. So we had really nice moments from archive filming where Joanne's like picking up her bottle, or she's in her high chair, or she's walking the table, or she's discovering new things, you know, around the floor and things like that, or she drives for the first time in her wheelchair. So there was all those nice moments that I suppose were kind of innocent and kind of naive at the same time. They kind of mix quite well in with the documentary, and it allows the audience to see what we were like as a family kind of off the camera until I start filming kind of, you know, 17 years later.
Yeah. So when you initially said I want to make a documentary and then maybe submit it to festivals, everybody was cool with that?
I think my parents were a bit apprehensive because I think they realised that we would be talking about stuff that they had never spoken about before. And even within the documentary, when I am talking to my parents, it's the first time that we've ever spoken openly and honestly about, you know, having Joanne and the fact that Joanne was born and then growing up with Joanne. So I know that that was quite hard for my mother, and I know that what she experienced, you know, when Joanne was born from the medical profession wasn't something that I would wish upon anybody. But at the same time, it allows people, I would hope, to know and understand that irrespective of what you've been told, you know, by anyone, that if you have a passion and enthusiasm for the person you've brought into this life and give them the tools and the opportunities to do well, then they will do well. But I mean, it's not all positive, of course. I mean, there is times with Joanne that it is very sad, or it's very hard, or there's a struggle. But I think with Joanne, that every time there's a struggle, there's 25 million positive things that come from that struggle. And I think that's what life is about. And I think the documentary is essentially about allowing people to escape from the world that they live in and to be transported into a world that is full of possibilities and endless kind of, I suppose, limitations of what you can do if you were given the power or the tools to do that.